Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Oh, yeah, we're here. We're here. Why are we here? I don't know. We're here because what is going on? My mic is it's limp. We're playing out the string. That was terrible. That was just absolutely terrible. The final score doesn't even matter. 77-62. That was never a game. It was 10-10, then it was 1,000,000-10, and then, whatever happened after that. San Diego Q, so dear. Oh, no. How dare you go through that under a calm or a not calm state of mind. Just a complete no-show. Absolute nothingness. Louisville was out without its star freshman and Michael Brown, and everyone else steps up. Syracuse had the full complement, and what's the opposite of stepping up? They stepped down. Just not fun. Not a fun watch. It's late night, and we're here though. We together. I demanded after the game on Saturday. I demanded your presence today. We're here. Level 5. Ready to go. I just cleaned up in my backyard somewhere at around the under 12 of the second half, a level 5 dog dump. And that has put me in the proper state of mind to be with you all at this hour late here on a Tuesday night. But man, oh man, so glad you're all here so we can commiserate together. We can commiserate together at this point. With that, let's launch into our daily specials, our opening menu presented by our friends at the Thompson Road Tavern, where I'm telling you, they got a catering menu. Yeah, it's a bar on Thompson Road. They got a catering menu. You don't even know what to do with it. It's so fantastic and so wide-ranging. They'll cater your event. They'll cater it up real good. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It's Wednesday in 49 minutes. You know what Wednesday is at the Thompson Road Tavern? It's a Weck Wednesday because they take the beef. They put it right on the weck, and then you put it right in your face, and it's outstanding. So that's what's going on at the Thompson Road Tavern. What's going on here on the show today? We have history potentially in the making, sadness and despair in the early lead here in our poll that you should vote on in the old chat for our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. We have link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show with a live video call and just, unburden yourself. It's late night. Just let it go. Let it go. Come and just let it out here. Yeah, we got all the choices tonight in the poll, Jen. We have sadness and despair. We have apathy. We have I don't know. And third base. If you don't get that, that's it's a 100-year-old joke. So if you don't get that one, I don't know what to do for you. You can figure that out. You can figure it out. Thank goodness for our guy Wes Durham in that game as well. Wes, man, I love Wes. He is the best guy, and he in games like that, like he's not out there just telling us it's crap, but he's doing the underlying it's crap stuff. So if you're in the know, what's going on with it. Shout out to Wes Durham. Shout out to Wes Durham. Bring the kids back for entertainment. I hope not, George, at this hour. If we bring the kids back for entertainment at this hour of the night, something has gone horribly wrong, and something will go even more wrong tomorrow. So what are we going to do here on the show again? Link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show at every point. It doesn't appear that Louisville's got their post-game press conference streaming live anywhere, unless anybody else can find it and share it. I've not been able to locate a live Louisville post-game press conference stream anywhere, but if the red gets posted before we are done tonight, we will certainly bring that along to all of y'all throughout the show today. I'm going to say y'all a lot because they played Louisville, and we like to just mix that in tonight. And I suppose we can look ahead a little bit to the last regular season game against Pitt in the bowl to end the regular season. All right, so there we are, our Thompson Road Tavern opening menu, where tomorrow, a Weck Wednesday, is going to just far surpass everything that we saw on the basketball court tonight for Syracuse. If I were to have put a player on the poll, it probably would have been Sadiq. Shout out to Sadiq White. His stats were not the best on the team that had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 17 minutes. Nate George leads the way with 16 points. Nate King says 14. Donnie Freeman double-double, 10 points and 11 rebounds. The team was a combined 4 of 19 from 3. But I want to give a shout-out to Sadiq White tonight because his left shoulder, and he's a lefty, late in the first half, it got stretched awkwardly. We don't know what happened. I don't know if it popped out. I don't know what. He came back with in the second half, it was a rather significant wrap from a yay to a right about there and around there and over there, and clearly wasn't right, but he came back in and fought in battle. Now, realistically, should he have been on the court given the nature of the game and the nature of the season? Probably not. But for somebody, and I said this, the fights I had on Twitter about this with people disagreeing, I said after last game, Sadiq's been playing better and better. We're seeing the guy that we were told he could be. And I think you get him in the weight room, get some LBs on him. He's got a shot to be something at some point. But I like the cut of his jib. You know, Nate King's plays like that this year, but obviously he's either out of eligibility or maybe he gets another year. You know, I'd like to have Nate King's back next year if it's an option, but I understand if he gets another year, if he, takes a payday and heads on off and finds a winner and the whole thing. But, Sadiq White gives a crap. He gives a crap. And right now, this Syracuse basketball team needs more people on it who give a crap. Because we're all here at whatever the hell o'clock it is right now. We clearly give a crap. And for that, we salute you, Sadiq White, because you give a crap. And for that is why we're up at this hour. Because it's just somebody that gives a crap. And that's fantastic. We like somebody that gives a crap. And for that reason, I'd love to have Sadiq back next year. Why? He gives a crap. He tries hard. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it got hyperextended or popped out and popped back in, or I don't know if he has previous shoulder issues. I don't remember hearing anything about it. And then, I don't know. Then there's the other side of the coin, right? And Cayenne Anthony, man, you'd like Cayenne to overtly give a crap more. Can we pick up the pace on the running back on defense? Red gives a crap. The Cayenne case, honestly, of all of the roster decisions and everything this season, the Cayenne case for next season is going to be fascinating because I still think there's a good basketball player in there. It's just the mellow part of it, there are so many variables around Cayenne that I think it'll be fascinating for next year, be it at Syracuse, be it elsewhere. And obviously, it's just a so totally different case with anybody else because of Melo. How about Melo's jacket today? That looked like it got quilted at some crazy leather quilt factory. Shout out to Melo. He can pull it off. Nobody else on earth could pull it off. At what point do I stop giving a crap? Well, if I stop giving a crap, Weez, that's a real problem for the thing I'm trying to do here with the whole channel and whatnot. So, if I stop giving a crap, we got a problem. If I stop giving a crap, then I got to get, a whole different job. And, it's a whole thing, Weez. That's just, that's a lot to figure out at 11:17 on a Tuesday night. So I'm going to just, fake it till you make it. I will give a crap just in case is what we're going to do here, Weez. I am going to give a crap just in case. I don't know, Southside Boss. I think, as far as player retention for next year, I don't know how much this year factors in because it's going to be a new coach, right? Obviously it factors in some, but you're going to have just by the nature of it being a different human, you're going to have a different relationship with the next head coach than you did with the Red. It could be better. It could be worse. The NIL could be different. It could be better. It could be worse. Your offers elsewhere could be better. They could be worse. I'll take Sadiq back, but I'd imagine someone's going to look at these last few games and see the potential, see it's still there, and offer him a bit of a bag. Cayenne's Cayenne. That's a whole different case. Nate King's, if he gets another year, and everyone gets another year these days, he gives a crap. That's a good guy. Tyler Betsy, I could give or take Tyler Betsy and Nate George. Yeah. And then besides that, there's, whatever. But yeah, coach is going to want the guys for his system. Yeah, that's true, Tuna. But like, I look at a guy like Sadiq White, who's got a motor and gives a crap. Like, any coach can fit that in his system, right? Like, he has a motor and gives a crap. You fit that in your system. But if there's a personality, whatever, like, and we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. I have no idea. I think because of that, because of the portal date being pushed back, there are so many factors that are different this offseason than realistically in any previous offseason, Fire Haney, of Syracuse basketball history. This next month, 6 weeks, is going to be beyond fascinating. Yeah, it's possible Haig's family real estate, but at the same time, like, how many of them have been here more than 1 year? Like, are they tired of losing at Syracuse? They've been here a year. Yeah, what if you get a new coach who comes in that lights a fire and you're, like, ready to go? Yeah, look at what Big Tuna says. White would be a perfect fit in Hodgson's system. I don't know. Obviously the Donnie Freeman thing's a whole other thing. Brian Hodgson, if he is to be the coach, which who knows at this point, was Donnie's recruiter at Alabama. Like, could he take Donnie and make him give a crap? Like, Donnie giving a crap would be pretty good, I think, right? Like, I don't know. It's the whole thing. Yeah, Melo's Jack. I'll say this. I don't think Melo could pull off Hubert's blazer. I don't think Hubert could pull off Melo's jacket. They're both staying in their lane, and I appreciate that, Trotty. Yeah, but for that, B.A. Hart, you need collective bargaining. You need a lot of stuff that they're just nowhere near at this point. What's up? Pat is here. Shout out, Pat. What's up, Pat? Again, link pin top of the chat if anybody would like to join the show. Yeah, there's not room for another me. If you're trying to do that, you get the hell out. You take your not giving a crap and you get the hell out, L.A. Orange. That's what I got to say. And that's why, as we sit here, it's March 3rd. That's today's date. It will be March 4th in 39 minutes. Basketball portal date. What's the date? April whatever. The portal opens on April 7th. April 7th. The portal opens 5 weeks from yesterday. That's when the portal opens. So, like, from here on out, we are on a weekly thing. Like, there is going to be so much stuff happening, good, bad, or otherwise, over the next 5 weeks. Like, a week from today, like at this hour, a week from today, it's very possible Red Autry no longer has the job, depending on if Syracuse loses Tuesday, what time the game is, the whole thing. Like, no matter what time, the latest tip time next Tuesday at the ACC tournament is 10. So if Syracuse loses in the first round, the game will be over by now. It's very possibly that Red is relieved of duties by then or by, midday Wednesday next week. That would figure to be one that's going – I'd imagine this is one that's going to happen rather quickly, right? Either that night after or the next day. There's – like, this is not a debate at this point. Like, the issue's decided. The question is basically whose job is it going to be to announce it. We got a new chancellor today with Mike Haney, who has been the odds-on favorite for that job for a really, really long time. The writing had been on the wall on that for a really, really long time. Got out there officially today. Will there be an athletic director between now and next week? Maybe. That's pretty quick. I think the odds-on favorite a few months ago, Heather Lyke, her candidacy is beyond dirtied at this point and would just be an insane hire in my mind. So we'll see how that goes. But at least you have some structure at the top in place at this point now to make some moves and make some hires. So we'll see where it all goes. But, like, here we're sitting 2 to 3 games left, one would figure. Then we're going to get, removal. Then we're going to be, we're deep into who's next, right? We're 10 deep. We'll be 11 deep on Thursday, but we'll be all over the place with who's next. Candidates, interviews, whatever. We'll start hearing things. Lots of stuff will be happening. And then, the tournament will be going, and it's very possible that the next prospective coaches of Syracuse will be in the tournament, and then they'll be out of the tournament, and then they'll be officially, like a lot of stuff is going to be happening here. Then the portal will be open, and like who's leaving and staying. Like a lot of stuff is going to be happening in regards to Syracuse basketball over the next 5, 6, 8 weeks. So yeah, looking, I'd say looking. I don't want to say I'm looking forward to it. I don't look forward to anybody getting fired. I don't look forward to Red getting fired. I don't look forward to it. It's not fun to look forward to stuff like that. Again, I like Red. I know Red. I've known Red for a long time. I don't wish ill on him, but this is what is going to happen. And if Syracuse is not to be in March Madness, which they won't be for the 5th straight year, at least give me something to March, and they'll be giving me something in March. Last year we got nothing. Yeah, this year we got something. Yeah, the Dio article at Heather Like yesterday, let's just say this. That matches up to things I'd been hearing behind the scenes. Like, I read the article, and I'm like, well, that checks out. Then all the stuff that's happening with Pitt and their coach, women's basketball coach, just got fired today after they officially missed the ACC women's basketball tournament and filled with scandal. And all of a sudden, there's lawsuits and all that stuff. So there's just whatever. Like, she was in many ways a failure at Pittsburgh. So to hire her at Syracuse, it would hurt my brain in so many ways that I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. If she still gets hired after all this, words will be said into this camera. Pretty much the same words that I've been saying. And if so, good for John. Like, the stuff I've been hearing behind the scenes is just bonkers. Just absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. CJ Fair. Shout out CJ. I saw CJ had a tweet yesterday. It was about the what's his name? There was the dude on Southern Cal who's been around forever and transferred 8 million schools. Forget his name. He left the team and he's 26 years old. CJ's tweet was like, 26? What? Like, I feel you, CJ. I feel you. Can you imagine if CJ Fair played at Syracuse until he was 26? That would be unbelievable. Oh, man. The fans deserve something. We don't know. NIT this year, like, more Syracuse basketball this season after the ACC tournament. That's a punishment for the fans. That is a punishment. We don't want more. We don't want more. Honestly, Johnny Warbell, we've talked about, like, some of the obvious names that have Syracuse's ties and whatever. I really haven't actually heard any names that have legit steam behind them yet besides hers, Johnny. So I'm intrigued. Like, Thomas Theodorakis was a Cuse Lax player 20 years ago, backup defensive guy. He's the AD at Army. There was a little steam around his name, but a week and a half ago, he signed an extension at Army after Wild Hack's retirement announcement. So that would take him out. There's some other names in the mix that are just like obvious names to put in the mix, but the rumor mill is not intriguing yet. I'm hoping that picks. I need a good AD rumor mill picking up steam here, in the next few weeks, next few days. I need it now. I need it tomorrow. Pat, you're absolutely right. I hesitate to compare him to Benny because he's clearly a more productive player than Benny, and he's clearly less destructive than Benny. But holy hell, it's Benny. Pat, it's Benny. Oh, man. It's Benny. Why does Tim Leonard say it's basically a known fact that Carm is Team Hop? Carm? Who's Carm? Oh, Carmelo. That's the rumor out there, Weez. I mean, obviously, Hop was like Hop and Mello, Hop was an assistant here. Hop was an assistant on all those Olympic teams Carmelo was on. Like, they're tight. So I could see that, but I don't know. Benny was a head case, man. Benny was like I could see Carparelli getting the job. Like, Nick Carparelli's a guy that's been in the mix, well liked by a lot of Syracuse people, has had a lot of interesting jobs that would relate. Yeah, I could get behind. I think a Nick Carparelli athletic director. A lot of Cuse types have pushed for him various times when this job has been open over the years. He's been involved. He works now. I think he's still with, like, bowl season, which is a job, not just words. He was high up at the Big East for many years. He's been around. He's a Cuse grad, right? I think Nick's a Cuse grad. Nice enough guy. The one thing that's lacking is he's not had an AD job before. So are you willing to go in on that? We mentioned the James Madison AD the other day, whose name I don't know. But he's a guy, younger guy, up and coming. James Madison's been successful at multiple sports. I like the idea in this era of NIL and how everything has changed. And I like the idea of somebody being able to hit the ground running because they have done the job before. I don't think it's 100% a prerequisite, but in this era, give me energetic. Give me somebody that knows what's going on. Give me somebody that snaps. Yeah. I mean, I could see that too, what you're saying, Big Tuna. Like Nick Carmarelli, it's been around for a while. Haney, yeah, I can see the ties on that. I would like to Matt Roan. Yes, that's the name. I wasn't even attempting to think of it, Matt NY, but that is the name. Yeah, Matt. Kaya could be gone. I don't know. I'd say this: if whomever's hired, if everything aligned, I would say that Mello, if the circumstances are correct, would probably prefer Cayenne to stay at Syracuse, right? Because legacy, all that, Mello's a Cuse guy. I know he's only here 1 year, but he's been pretty solid on it for a long, long time. Give Tirico whatever it takes to be AD, but would he then not do Sunday Night Football? I don't want to act I love me some Mike Tirico. But I don't want to accidentally screw up. I don't want to screw up my Olympic viewing. You got to tell me that if Mike's being the Chancellor or the AD, he's also still doing his day job, or that we have a really solid replacement lined up for that. Because Mike's just getting going here on that stuff, and I like Mike being involved in the search. Mike is as sharp a human as I've ever met. That guy's memory is just asinine. I mean, I've told this story before, and it's not just me. The second time I met Mike, back when he had no reason to remember who I was. This is how good this dude's memory is. He's he's got to have photographic memory or something. The second time I met Mike, he remembered who I was. I was going to introduce myself, and he's like, "Hey, Brian, what's up?" I'm like, "What the hell, Tirico?" He's unbelievable with the memory. So yeah. If I'm Mike Tirico, I'd rather call Super Bowls than be Syracuse's athletic director. I would much rather have Mike's job than be Syracuse athletic director. Mike also would be taking a significant pay cut to become Syracuse athletic director, which is your point. Joni Mahoney is team hop. Okay. Mike Haney, I've never met Haney, but he's been around for a long time, 20 some odd years. He's worked his way up through the structure at Syracuse, which you can argue is good or bad, depending on your views on a variety of things. I've talked to a lot of people about Haney today, text and otherwise, and obviously his name's been out there a while. What I've heard from this is people that have had one-on-one interactions with Mike at various points during his time at Syracuse in various roles enjoyed their experience. So he sounds like a real human being, personable guy, which we like. Kent was on the list of strengths that Kent Syverud had, of which there are many. Personable was not one of them. Not one of them. I think Mike Haney likes sports. Mike is always, you'll probably see him there on Saturday. He's always at unless he gets new seats now due to being the Chancellor. But Mike was always, most times, how there's that row of chairs with rando people behind the scores table that you can see on TV. Mike Haney, now that you know what he looks like he's a he's a guy that is there. He's in attendance. He's there. He had various quotes today talking about the idea that there's also the connection, right, that obviously major universities in America, and this is not just Syracuse, enrollment in colleges is falling for a variety of factors, some political, some not, for 8 million reasons. But Mike seems to be a guy that does subscribe to the idea that athletics can be the front porch of your university, where Kent, not as much. Kent might have had it as the back porch, and he had it somewhere in the deep grass. So we like that. The fact that it is a similar a guy that's being promoted from within, how much changes, that we don't know. That we don't know. But as far as, a continuity hire, I think there is potentially enough different between Mike and Kent that could be useful to athletics. That is my hope. And again, I don't know. Like, diagnosing Chancellor hires, not necessarily the wheelhouse here. Not necessarily the wheelhouse here. So we'll see. But Haney's been around for a minute, and obviously the first major hire, the first two major hires that are going to happen with him officially being named Chancellor, realistically, in some order coming up, are going to be AD and head men's basketball coach, not dean of whatever. Yeah, the first two major hires that are going to happen under his watch are athletic hires. So when you think of the time that he is going to be Chancellor at Syracuse for however long it may be, and shout out to Apathy has just taken over the lead in the poll. Big comeback for Apathy. You don't normally say that for Apathy. But when we look back at the time of Mike Haney as Chancellor, like, the first actions under his command are going to be these two major hires. So sports will always be tied to his time at Syracuse because of how it begins, which I think is going to be fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And Forever Orange Girl, you're absolutely right. Between Newhouse and Falk, and, there's programs with Whitman that involve sports as well, which is the business school, and ties between Newhouse and Whitman and Falk, and the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of sports things that are not just winning games that are significantly important to the bottom line of Syracuse. And we know this. All chancellors, above anything else, need to care about the bottom line. And when Haney had quotes today, read Chris Carlson's article on Syracuse.com, had a lot of Haney quotes about sports in it. He told some story about Jim Boeheim giving a speech. He brought in Jim to talk to a class he was teaching or some such. And Jim, it was like a big lecture, 200-ish. And Jim asked, all right, how many of you factored into your college decision, like Syracuse basketball and the sports teams here? And a significant portion of the hands went up in the room. Significant portion of the hands went up in the room, which tells you how much stuff like that matters. Like, if you are a student at Syracuse right now, you and your time at Syracuse have not watched the Orange play in the men's basketball tournament. You have no idea? Oh, I'd say it has been mentioned. Mike Haney, I mean, he was the vice chancellor or whatever it was. There across the street from Newhouse, there's a giant veterans administration type building that's like a tie between the university, Veterans Affairs, and the whole thing. Mike has been in charge of that building and what goes on in that building since from like inception to now, which is going back a solid decade. So that has been his major oversight thing here, which has been a very, very important thing on campus here over the course of the last 10 years. It's a relationship with the federal government because of veteran stuff. It's a fancy looking building. They hold most of their important things on campus in that building now because it's got some nice space. Like, that's what he's been involved in recently, which has been a significantly important thing at the university for the last, I'd say, about 10 years. It's been a really important thing at the university fiscally, as far as getting recognition. Like, for 8 million reasons, it's been an important thing at the university over the last decade, and Mike has been the guy overseeing that soup to nuts, start to finish. So that's what he's been doing, and it's legitimately a very, very important thing at the university. I've also heard, I've not verified this, but why not just lob rumors out there? It sounds like he's been the one, at least one of the ones, in charge of shepherding the early days relationship with Micron, which will be important going forward. Like, what are the largest employers in Syracuse, right? It's Syracuse University. It's the hospitals. It's no longer Carrier. It's no longer this. It's no longer that. And if all of this happens, Micron is soon to be one of them. So having a good relationship with a company like that is important. So there we go. We'll see how it all goes. I don't know. I don't know because I think, a lot of good stuff has happened recently at Syracuse. A lot of bad stuff has happened recently at Syracuse. Is Mike going to lean into the good stuff, the bad stuff? Does he agree with this? Does he not? I have no idea. That we'll all find out together. Yeah, Jed, it's a fantastic looking building. I mean, they architected the crap out of that building. Somebody did some designing with that thing. There was pencils and protractors, and I heard they had multiple T-squares. You should see how many T-squares they used on this drafting board, and they really, really just designed it up real nice. Yeah, Micron better play nice. Jordan's going to cut the power, and L.A. Orange. I happen to have neighborhood inside knowledge of somebody who works with the Onondaga Water Authority. So maybe I can turn off the tap as well. Maybe. Like, I know a guy that knows guys that water. So, power and water. We got it all. We got it all. We got it all. Oh, man. Sadiq, Ryan, yeah, I don't know if it popped out, popped back in. I don't know. It wasn't great. They let him back in the game, which hopefully wasn't a dumb decision for the long term, but who knows? Who knows? Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the program this evening as we blaze a trail toward midnight here on this Tuesday, fast to be Wednesday morning. This is a post-game show, right? Syracuse lost to Louisville tonight, 77-62. We all care about that. Oh, my goodness. I just paid my National Grid bill for this month. B.A. Hart. I don't feel good. It was just insane. And it just keeps getting more insane. I can't even. It's insane. I might want Jordan to turn off my power so I just don't have to pay the bill. I'd be a little chilly, but it is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. There was a college hockey breakaway where the lights went off. Did Jordan turn the lights off? No, I did not see that. Tronic. Todd Bergen. Why are we saying Todd Bergen? Shout out Todd Bergen. Shout out Todd Bergen. I don't know why we're shouting out Todd Bergen, but yeah, let's shout him out. Let's shout out Todd Bergen. I wonder what Todd Bergen's not doing. Jordan should really run National. I like how he's now running National Grid. He's running it like a mafia. He's out there collecting, cracking kneecaps, giving it to NIL. I like it. I like it. Oh, man. All right. Q Sports Knower is going to bed. All right. Good night, Q Sports Knower. Sweet dreams to you. Okay. Should we talk about, is there a point to talking about the game? WAR, some post-game Autry quotes? Thank you, man and why. Let's dial them up. Let's dial that up. We're all yearning for it. We're all yearning. Was Red mad today, or is he just, has apathy reared its ugly head with Red as well? Let's see if his post-game press conference is posted yet. Not yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, what did Adrian Red Autry have to say after Autry? Not Autry, I need WAER. Shout out to college radio station WAER. Following Syracuse's loss at Louisville, Orange head coach Adrian Autry talks to the media. Follow this thread for updates. Okay. Coach Autry is still in the locker room, a longer stretch than the usual. What could he be saying? That was update 1. Quote, there are things that we talk about, we work on, but we just don't do them. End quote. Autry. Quote, we have to understand scouting reports. We have to do things that we can control. Period. End quote. Autry. Quote, after the game, I try not to get too much into the game. It's emotional. Quote, Autry. What? Quote, they're a fast-paced team, comma. They get a They get a ton of possessions. Typo. We were, misplaced apostrophe, okay with the late shot clock makes, but not in transition. Autry on Louisville's three-point shooting. Quote, I think the whole team has struggled. Our perimeter guys had to get over screens. They just didn't do a good job of that. Autry highlighted a specific portion of the scouting report after saying that his team was struggling to understand them after Wake Forest. Last one, quote, with the season that we're having, disappointment is always there, end quote. That is a perfect finale to that. That is a perfect finale to that. So there we are. There, Reds in the locker room eating Eggs Benedict. That would be a peculiar meal for the hour, Eggs Benedict. Somebody, the hollandaise is breaking. Whisk, more butter. Whisk, whisk. You need to pour it in like a thermos to keep it warm to serve later. I think I learned that on Good Eats. Shout out to Alton Brown. I've never done it, but shout out to Alton Brown anyway. Do I think Cayenne was hidden by more talented players throughout his high school career? I don't know. Like, he's out there on an island. Like, I think but he's puts himself on the island, right? Like, play within the framework a little bit more and he won't be on the island. Like, okay, play with a bunch of D1 basketball players in high school. Guess what he's playing with in college? A bunch of D1 basketball players. Like, he just hasn't been able to, he just hasn't been able to, I don't know, like, he's still, it feels like he's playing a game very much like you'd play in high school, right? He just hasn't made that leap to playing a college within it. Like, he can't play like that anymore because he's not that superior to everybody. You can see the talent. He's talented, but he's not displaying it. He's a freshman. And then I also think the way his season started, like, I think we went into this season like with a little trepidation right about Cayenne being like, all right, he's not mellow, this, that, what can he be? And then JJ gets hurt, and then he has those like 3 or 4 crazy games, albeit against terrible opposition. We're like, oh my goodness, he's amazing. And then, it got real. And he never quite really recovered from that. That said, he's a college freshman. It's possible, nay likely, that he will get better. Yeah, it's just too much slow down ISO. And he's not like a huge, quick twitch, gonna blow past you athlete. So when the ball gets to him and it stops, like, any advantage you might have had in numbers, whatever, is gone. And, can he work to improve that? Of course he can work. Like, the things that he's struggling with this year are very improvable things, right? Like, can you improve your hustle? Can you improve that? Like, that stuff is very, like, the stuff he struggled with this year, I think a lot of it can be simply improved on hard work and, just sticking with it, right? It's not stuff that is insurmountable. Like, he's still like a 6'4", 6'5" shooting guard. Get a little muscle on him, get the touch back a little bit. Like, there's a chance he can become a really good player. Will he at Syracuse? I don't know. I don't know. I think he can be a power conference player, fella Ferda. I don't think he's a freshman. And he did not play. And part of the problem again this year with Cayenne is he's a freshman, and the volume of freshmen in the country this year of all years that did not play like freshmen. And we missed out on seeing one tonight, Michael Brown, who was out with a bad back. Like, that guy's been unbelievable. He scored 45 points in an ACC game a few weeks ago. Look at all the guys at Duke and in Kansas and DeBonsa at BYU, and there's the dude at Baylor and Houston. Like, there's dudes all over. Like, this is an unbelievably immediate impact freshman class, and Cayenne has not been that. Cayenne's not been that. Is JJ still playing? What were JJ's numbers today? JJ Starling, 2 points, 1 for 5, 19 minutes. Yeah, JJ was awful today. Just no show. JJ on Saturday will be fascinating, right? JJ Senior Day. Like, what's that going to be like? JJ Senior Day. What's that going to be like? Oh, man. Would I bet on Cayenne? I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to lob my wallet after it, Big Tuna. Like, if you were to ask me today, like, between him and Sadiq, who's going to have a better college career, I'd probably say Sadiq. But Cayenne still got a shot, man. Like, Cayenne still has a shot to be good. Now, I'm not going to guarantee it. Of course not. And again, he's never going to be his dad. Never going to be that. His dad was fantastic. JJ's going to take 30 shots. Oh, man. Saturday is going to be wild. 4:30 tip, a CW joint. Pitt is terrible. Is Pitt eliminated from the ACC tournament? Is that a fact? ACC. Where's my ACC standings tab? Did I close my ACC standings tab? How could I? That's been open for like centuries. Standings. Scrolling. Atlantic Coast. Oh, actually, no. Pitt will be battling for the last. Pitt's got everything. Oh, Pitt's got a meaningful game in March on Saturday. They are currently tied with Notre Dame at 4-12 in the league. One of them will make the conference tournament, and one of them will miss the conference tournament, and that's going to be on the line for Pittsburgh on Saturday. My, oh my, what a moment in the Dome. So we'll see if Pitt is going to give a crap and try to get another game. Oh, you wanted a meaningful game in March. This is a meaningful game in March. Syracuse is 2 games ahead of Pitt in the standings, so they cannot fall. Syracuse cannot fall, I don't think, below 14th in the conference standings. So go team. Yeah. Jim Boeheim said that very often, lock and load, and I said this a lot in October and November, that like if this team, and obviously this did not occur, but if this team could get through to February and, had they won a game in Vegas and you got the Tennessee game, had Donnie not gotten hurt, like you don't lose the Hoster game. Like there was a world where the team didn't do this, where you look at the talent, you say, okay, and then if Cayenne and Sadiq start figuring it out in February, right? Now you've got, like, the schedule's getting harder, but you got something to add to it, so you have a way to grow late in the season. Obviously, none of this happened, but it was like, when I was going through the thought exercise to start the season, I'm like, all right, how can they get there where it gets to a thing that gets somewhere late in the season? That was the way. It didn't happen. Oh, yeah, this game is the most CW game that it ever could be. The only thing that would make it more CW is, I think actually this is more CW than if it was literally the last 2, if it didn't have bottom 3 implications. Like if this game on Saturday was BC and Georgia Tech on the CW with no implications, 2 teams that are out of it, no, I think this is more CW than if it was that. Because, like, either our guy Thom Brenneman or whoever's on the call on Saturday, they're going to be playing up the implications. Oh, the implications will be through the roof. Oh, my goodness. There'll be so much implications. You're tired of hearing that players need time to grow. Well, some players do need time to grow and develop, lock and load. Like, not every freshman is ready-made. Some do need. You wish you had more people that were ready to play right now, or a coach that was ready to coach right now. Yeah, like you need to win. You need to get to the tournament, but not every player is ready to come in and go. And selfishly, it is more fun for me, and I think for all of you, to root for a guy that you get to watch for a few years that actually gets good. Like, we have better long-term memories about those guys, like, aside from Carmelo, because Carmelo just dropped from the skies and won a title. Like, look at a guy like Jerry, right? Like, Jerry, what if Jerry had been a one and done? Fantastic memories, right? He was a great freshman. In my mind, he was the second best freshman in the country that year. But think of all the memories we would have missed. Then, look at a guy that was a freshman the year after that, Demetrius Nichols. Like, freshman year it happened, and he got better and better and better, and then he's the Big East player of the year. Like, I miss the days of that. And I know those days are gone, but if you told me that Sadiq White's going to be here 3 or 4 years and he gets better and better and better, and then by his senior year, he's first team all league and all that, that's great. It's a great story and it's fun. That stuff just doesn't happen anymore. The Cayenne thing, yeah, I don't know what to make of Cayenne. I don't know what to make of Cayenne. The Buddy and Gerard years were great basketball teams. Yeah, they weren't great basketball teams. They had one great month. Buddy was a really good player. You wished if Buddy had been on better teams with better teammates, that could have been interesting, right? But yeah. Is Autry's pressure posted somewhere? He can't get on the stage. Is that factual, Matt NY? Is it up? Is the presser up? Hang on. Let me hit a little. I don't see the presser. Where are you seeing this? Where did you see him not getting on the stage? Where are you watching this? Where share? Don't hoard. Share. Where is this? Share it with the people. Yeah, it's just if they had a point. Yeah, if Kadari Richmond was here, this would be a whole different ball of wax. Oh man, and that's what we're to the point where people move around so much. We can't even do the Kadari stuff anymore, right? Link above. Did you post the link and I missed it? Scrolling up, where above where? Where am I looking? I don't see a link. Did I? Scrolling. Motion to close, Weeze. That's enough out of you. Where'd you put the link? Put it again. I don't see it. Did it not post? You're sharing with the people. Where's the link? I don't see a link. You give me the link. Yeah, Buddy. I don't even say fourth option. Buddy was a good player. I think if Buddy was the third best player on the team, that could have been a really good team. Here. Is it not letting you post a link? DM me the link, Matt, and why? Yeah, it's not letting you. I don't think it's letting you post a link. It's just showing blankness. Just DM it to me, and we'll. Or where did you get it? Just type where you got it, and then I can find it. Because it's not on the Syracuse YouTube page yet. We will. This is a collaborative effort. It is a collaborative effort to bring it to the people so we can commiserate on Red not being able to get on this. Who had it? Where is it? What's going on? Somebody Autry. That's Red Autry post game at Wake Forest. Bud Poliquin. Bud Poliquin's still doing. Bud Poliquin just popped up on my YouTube. How about that? Shout out to Bud. Wherever Bud's at, whatever Bud's doing. Shout out to Bud. Miss Bud. Okay, wait, what do we got here? We got, where is this? Adrian Autry. Oh, this is from a Kentucky TV station. Okay, hang on here. Hang on. Okay, this is from KY Sports TV or kysports.tv. Hang on. Adrian Autry, just a moment, hitting buttons. Let's hit the buttons. Let's get all of the buttons. Let's get it up on the screen so we can watch Red walk up on the podium. Here is the beginning of Red. Or here's all of Red, I guess. Oh, he's lost. Oh, man. Why couldn't he go that way? Zoom in. Zooming. Thank you. Still zooming. A lot of zooming.
I thought the first half we had a lot of shots that layups and shots that we didn't make, and I thought that was a difference. I thought the second half we settled in a little bit more, played better offensively, and I thought our defense, held up pretty good. But I thought the first half that deficit was. That was a difference in us. If we made a couple of those shots and you come in at a 39-30 or 39-31, I think the game could have been a little different. But we still are dealing with things that we can control that we're just not doing. We got to get over screens. We have to we have to communicate better. Again, I thought when it got down to it, some of the things that you need to do to win a game, we're just not doing. just not doing. And it's things that are, that we know are coming. We talk about it. We work on it. But again, when you don't do those things, especially defensively, that's going to be a problem. Then I thought offensively, I'll just, the deficit in the first half was just too big. Questions.
That mid-answer stretch of the neck by Red was like that spoke volumes.
I thought for the most part, they competed against Louisville. Again, I thought I thought the first half came down to offense, just missing easy shots. I thought the second half, we actually won the second half, scoring-wise. I thought we battled on the boards, which we haven't done. I think, we were down 35, 37. So I thought they responded well, but there's still things that you got to do better. We have to understand scouting reports. We have to, do things that we can control, right? Scouting, we know they're screening certain areas and doing certain things, and we just run into the screens, and, that's just that. We got to do a better job of that. We got to do a better job of keeping people in front of us. I thought the zone helped us. Louisville is a team that shoots a ton of threes against man, so zone they still going to get their fair amount. It didn't really matter, but I thought we did a decent job at that. I thought we took care of the basketball, which is something that we were concerned about. I thought we did a good job of that, but the response was, again, the effort was there. It's just we still got to pay attention to details and do the things that we're asking them to do.
AKA, when it says shooter, that means they're going to shoot it from far away.
This whole season about wanting toughness. How has Sadiq given you toughness all year, and especially tonight? Just what did you see from him?
I think Sadiq's been really good the last actually 3 games. Love his energy. He's actually rebounding more. That was something that we challenged him on. I love his talk. I love the way he moves the balls on offense. He screens. He's a great screener with rolling. He's been really good the last 3 games for us. I think he's grown a lot in that area. He's rebounding the ball more now, and we need that.
Just how would you describe where the team's at mentally with one regular season game to go?
I think they're frustrated, but these guys, the one thing I'll say is, they're not going to stop. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep playing. Again, it's disappointing to come up short, but we'll regroup and get ready for Pittsburgh.
Red, you have 2 of these left. Thoughts?
There's some big news today at your school. There was a new chancellor named, and
Donna.
I'm wondering what your reaction to the news of the chancellor being named and what your relationship is like with him.
First, congratulations to I don't know what the title is right now.
Chancellor-elect.
Chancellor Haney. I do know him. Congratulations to him. But I've been, in my hotel room with the team. So, but congratulations to him. I do know him. And, that's all I can say right now. I'm just really focusing on what we're trying to do, trying to finish the season out.
Breaking news. Red knows. Mike Haney.
Membership with the American Express Platinum Card and access over $3,500 in annual value.
Skip.
In the locker
Ridiculous.
room after the game,
That was loud.
what was the message to the guys tonight?
The message is we gotta keep fighting. Typically after games, I try not to dive too much into the games because it's emotional. So, we'll get back, we'll watch film and we'll dive more into the game. But, like I told those guys, I thought they had fight. I didn't think they thought they fought. Again, the biggest difference is, the first half, the 21 points. That's tough to come back from, especially on the road against a good Louisville team and against any team on the road. But I thought they fought. I mean, we gave ourselves a chance, and when we got it kind of close, that's when we didn't kind of do the things that we needed to do to try to really close the gap even more.
Did they have a chance? They had the ball once. Maybe they could have got within 10. Like, that's not a chance.
No, I mean, I thought we got some good ones. I thought we had a couple that probably were late in the shot clock off the dribble. But for us, with Louisville, we wanted to take, we wanted to try to get really good shots and use some time a little bit. They're a fast-paced team. They get up and down. They get a ton of possessions. So we were okay with some of those late shot clock ones. But I just think, a couple rolled in and out. A couple we got a transition wide open. We just didn't make them. I thought we got a lot of good looks in the first half. We just didn't make them.
Shout out to Red on his Louisville pronunciation.
Is preparing for Louisville without Michael Brown in the lineup when you were just kind of breaking down film of them. Is there a noticeable difference in how they execute, or the system is saying he's just a great player?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. He's really good. Obviously, they got really good players and still playing, but he's definitely a dynamic. He's one of the better college guards that I've seen in a long time. Especially offensively. He's a guy that can explode for 40, 50 points. With his speed, he's tenacious. Attacking the rim. But I think Conwell and McNeely, those guys, and Woolley are dynamic as well. They all can touch the paint. They all can. They're strong. They can finish and shoot the ball. So again, this is when he's back, they just have more talent on the perimeter than most teams in our league.
I don't know, Tronic. Apathy's leading the poll currently.
Well, it's always tough when typically you would say, hey, we'll find someone that can do it, but I think the whole team has struggled in certain situations. Today was really, our especially late, our perimeter guys getting over screens, especially late when we kind of got it close. They just didn't do a good job of that, and we knew that they were going to screen, and we just didn't do a good job of that. And we just got to keep again working on that and really stressing it. It's not like it's one guy that's doing it consistently. We all, it's collaboratively. We all are just kind of running into screens, and you can't run into screens. Whether you're playing man or zone, you have to get over screens. You got to be close enough. You got to anticipate, and you can't melt. And what I mean by melt is as soon as you get a little contact, you just stop. You got to be tough enough to get over that screen or flip your hips and get back in front. And we're just not doing that. We're not doing that. The second chance things, second effort things.
Flip them hips.
I think it's a season. I don't think this is part of a basketball season. You have ups and downs, journeys. I don't think and me being somber, this is me. Again, after games, I really try to wait and really get more in depth after the games. I have to come and speak to you guys, and so I try to be very, poised. But it's not fun losing at all, but you still got season left, and as I lead, I have to be able to lead these guys and let them know we got to get ready for the next game. So I come in here and talk about the game, and then get ready for the next game. So that's just. That's my approach. That's always been my approach. Typically, when you get in these situations, especially the season, that we're having, disappointment is always there, and you want to look and try to have some things to build on. And I don't think when you're in this situation, that's what this is for. That's for my team. I don't think the fans or anybody wants to hear any of the stuff that I have to say to get my guys ready for, right? It's about results, and the frustration is there. So when I come into these press conferences, I try to stay even keeled and try to really get my guys ready for the next game.
Some good self-awareness on the way out of this press conference, certainly for Red there. Yeah, I'd say it's an accurate description of how rough it is to go do this at this point, right on the way out. But man, oh man. Announce it though, but yeah, why? Like, what's that gonna do, fella? Like, we all know it. We all know it. We all know it. Like, it is known. It is known. I don't know. I think this is one where, all right, you go to the ACC tournament, either lose Tuesday, lose Wednesday. I can't, maybe you win the first game because it's just two bad teams. Then you do the post-game press conference, you twist in the wind a little bit, and then you either announce it later that day or the next morning. And it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. Like, to do it in a different way, it just, now Red is going to be on the record, right, as an official Syracuse coach talking about getting fired, and like that's not anything you just you want to deal with at this point. Motion to close, Weez. Almost, because we have to before we go here, just past midnight, here on this Wednesday now morning. We must, as is required contractually, we must give out our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. And with that, we stare into the darkness of night, the depths of despair in the backyard. And, okay, we now go to the poll for our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. My goodness, what a moment here. As we know, the options for our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game, none of them today play basketball in Syracuse's 15-point loss to Louisville. We have the reigning, defending, undisputed, 3 times in a row champion of sadness and despair. We have the newest fighter to the fray. We have apathy. We have I don't know, and we have third base. Shout out to both Abbott and Costello. So that's what we have as our options today for our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. We're going to click on end poll here. We're going to end the poll, and we're going to see the results. We have, is this actually a dead heat? We have a dead heat. So coming in last, in fourth place, I don't know, received 12% of the vote. Coming in a shocking third with 14% of the vote, third base, and both receiving 37% of the vote in just an unbelievable moment in the history of the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game poll. With all precincts reporting, both have received 37% of the vote. We have a tie between sadness and despair and apathy. So with that, our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air players of the game here on this Tuesday night turned Wednesday morning, it is the unholy trio of sadness, despair, and apathy. Syracuse Basketball. There we go. Wild Birds Unlimited will be open for all your birding pleasures in less than 10 hours. Doors open at 10. They remain open until 6 on a Wednesday in their locations in Fayetteville and Camillus, where you will find no sadness, you will find no despair, and you will find absolutely zero apathy. Sadness and despair and apathy, all of them, are Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air players of the game. Oh, I'll filibuster all night, Spatch in the ways. Actually, I would also like to go to bed. Yes, remember this night always. See, Matt NY, you didn't vote. It's that Simpsons episode where it was Kang and what was the other one? And then he voted for Perot, and they laughed and said, oh, you throw your vote away. That's what you did, Matt NY. You did the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors like 4 from 1993. That's what you did. That's what you did. Yeah, we need Kornacki. We need the map. We need a touchscreen. Chads. Hanging Chads. I need a recount. We need the whole thing. Oh, man. We need the whole thing. Wonder if they know or care. You know, I doubt it for either case. LA Orange. Though William Kyle's dad always seems to be happy whenever William Kyle gets it. So there is that. So there's that. Yeah, early 90s Simpsons reference. I can hit you with early 90s Simpsons reference. I'll have the crab lock. Anywho, with that, we will now second Spatching the Wheezes motion to close, which you first made about a half an hour ago. We will second it. We will bring our time together for the evening to an end until we are joined later this evening. Tonight, because it's past midnight, TPS reports Wednesday evening, me and Jordan, 8 o'clock. Thursday, our next episode of Who's Next, among other things, live into the 315, and will be post-game after the CW special, Cuse and Pitt, on Saturday afternoon into evening. With that, great crowd tonight. I demanded you stay up late, and you did. Shout out to all of you. We'll talk tomorrow. Get some sleep. See y'all later.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.